Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I have a layout for Traci Reed Designs, and it is oldie but a goodie. And so we are featuring the Sunkissed collection. So this was last summer's collection that was released, and so I am starting out by creating a background here with a stamp. This is sort of just a stamp that I would say is made to create just a textured kind of interesting background. So I'm taking some, I believe this is spiced marmalade, I want to say is the color. And I'm just stamping it. It's going to be really messy, but again, I'm creating a background, so most of this is going to get covered up. So you're only going to see bits and pieces of this sort of peek around my page. So I've gone ahead and stamped that down. And like I said, there's sort of a floral and like mesh kind of pattern in the stamp. And so once I had that done, I did add a little bit of splatters to my background with some Distress Oxide ink, and now I am just taking all of the patterns that I printed for my page today, and what I decided to do is I decided to focus on just using the Traveler's Notebook papers. Now I didn't print all of them. I printed they come in, you can print them individually or you can print them in the PDF. So I just went through the pages of the PDF and printed the pages that I wanted for my patterns. And so I decided to focus on that because sometimes for whatever reason you may not want to buy the entire collection, and so you might just want to get Traveler's Notebooks because that's all you work with, or at the time that's the only size that you decided to purchase. So it's a great way that even though these are smaller in size, you definitely can print them and use them to create a 12 by 12 paper. So I love that all of it, everything that Traci creates is versatile. Whether you're a completely digital scrapbooker or whether you are a hybrid scrapbooker like I am, you can certainly make everything from the project cards to these Traveler's Notebook pages work for a 12 by 12. I mostly do 12 by 12. I do a little bit of different sizes like Traveler's Notebooks and 8.5 by 11 and things like that. But I have to say my love and my favorite is definitely the 12 by 12. So I like being able to take these smaller sized papers and use them on a 12 by 12 page. And this is a great way. Another great way is to die cut and use your dies with these smaller size papers. The patterns are shrunk down, so it makes it really is nice for if you use it for die cutting and things like that, and for patterns like this where you're mixing a whole bunch of patterns together, it keeps because they're sized down, everything doesn't become too overwhelming. So there you see, basically the other reason why I wanted to use all of these pattern papers in the smaller size especially was because I wanted to layer them up and have this really textured, really layered type of background papers. And so obviously my photos are going to cover up the majority of this, just like they did the stamping, but I really do like that I was able to put tons of patterns on my background. I even backed my photos with two of the other patterns that are from the Traveler's Notebook papers, and so I have my two photos and all of my papers layered. And that is the base for my page. And once I had that in place, I did go ahead off camera, glue all of those down. And then I have gone ahead and taken all of the printed, most of these are from the actual sticker sheets. I think might be a few things that came from the digital collection, but for the most part I think these are all from the digital or from the sticker sheets. So I went ahead, did my fussy cutting, and I just am taking all of these different elements and I am just going to layer them up. I'm going to create a cluster down here on the bottom left, and then I'm going to have another cluster on the sort of top right of the photos. I did use my stamps and stamp the word summer, and then I fussy cut that, and I've added the word stories just from an old Thickers package, and so my title is going to be Summer Story, and I did nestle that down at the bottom of that cluster or beside that left hand cluster. I always like to have my titles touching my photo or my cluster, or a combination of both. I just feel like it pulls the layout together, and so that's why you typically see me do that on my pages. Now I am just taking and finishing up the page by adding some of these hearts in a couple of different sizes. Now I will say that the hearts definitely came from, these probably were from the sticker sheet, but I did put them in Canva, and I do typically do that, and I resize a lot of my sticker elements. I like that I can pull them into Canva and resize. That is definitely one thing that I do like to do. So there you see it. I have glued everything down. Now I'm just going to adjust things and kind of get everything in place. I did add a word sticker up in that label at the top of the first photo. I can't remember what it says, but if you would like to know, you can let me know in the comments. To finish up the page, I'm just coming in with the enamel dots. I am trying to work through a very large stash of enamel dots, so I'm typically putting them on as many pages as I can. So with that, guys, these are the still photos. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is I did do some of my printables on a diamond glitter paper, and so they have a sparkle to them, which you can kind of see in the photos. I didn't do it for all of them, but some of them. So be sure to check out the blog and you can see all of the other projects that were made today. And with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.